And then
that entire thing was such a waste of time. I watched the whole Summer Games Fest show.
Yeah, and then yesterday was some more stuff, but I think that was more indie, like smaller stuff. I didn't even see much from that. And then there was recently the Horizon.
Oh, did they show more?
West. Yeah, there was a like a 15-minute gameplay showcase.
Apparently, Kina and the Bridge of Spirits has gotten a lot of like not coverage, but like preview footage, and the developers have come out and talked about it a little more, which is cool.
That's cool. There was the Sonic and Dragon Quest, both of those.
Oh yeah,
anniversary.
That's
presentations. Right. And then also it's time for another Nintendo Direct.
That is true.
Put out games.
Maybe, you never know. They might just be like, no.
I'm just at the point where I'm like, dude, just give me a new Mario Kart.
Yes, I will say that is my biggest desire from Nintendo.
I'm tired of 8.
Yeah, I'm tired of it too.
I used to love 8, but it's just like you play the same game for how many years at this point?
2014.
Jesus.
It came out the summer before Smash. So
yeah, so like 7 years at this point. It's like, okay.
Yeah. It's an old game. I don't know, and it sells so well. Like, I don't know, I keep hearing this argument. It's like, oh, it sells super well, so they're not gonna do 9 yet. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, just like 9 will make buku bucks too. I don't know. I hear that argument a lot, but I will say that's one of my biggest like hopes and dreams for Nintendo is they just drop Mario Kart 9 on us and say it's coming. I don't even care if it doesn't come like till late next year or something, but please.
Yeah, man. I mean, we already know one game that's coming next year.
Elden Ring.
Think that was...
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I don't think that was a leak. Like, because I think it's officially published and still up. Like the
Mario and Rabbids?
Rabbids. Yeah, I think the website for it is still up because I went to the website for it.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I know it was up for a little bit. At least the eShop post was up for Rabbids.
I guess it is leaked a little bit. Like,
and what's it called? It's called like
Arcs of Hope.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's been taken down now.
Yeah,
but,
I have a feeling it's gonna get revealed at
totally.
Ubisoft today.
That's how the original Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, I remember Miyamoto came out. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then
that game was pretty good. That game was really solid.
I've played a little bit of it. And then wasn't Starlink, like the Starlink DLC announced that year too? That same E3?
I think that was the year after.
Okay.
Because I don't think... Because Kingdom Battle was first year Switch, I think.
Yeah, it was. Summer.
Yeah, and then Starlink, I think, was the year after.
It's insane to me, like... The Switch is, like, all old. Like, I feel like it just came out, but I still, like, remember the release schedule of certain games and stuff. It's crazy.
Dude, remember how people said it was leaked that the Switch Pro is going to be revealed 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I did not believe that. I was like,
here.
I was like, no way.
Again, and I'm like, no.
If they okay, so that's the big question. Do you think they're at all, if it exists at all, which do you think they'll show it off at all during the presentation or wait?
Honestly, I think it's the only thing, unless there's some other big game that we have no idea about.
Right.
I think the two things that they could have to show to fill 40 minutes and have like big reveals for E3 is Breath of the Wild 2 and that.
Yeah. But
like, here's the thing. I don't know whether or not it exists. I kind of hope it does because I need a new Switch and I'd rather wait for the potential of a beefier one to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my Switch's fan is busted.
Oh, no.
So while it works perfectly fine in handheld, if I need a desk fan on it, like blowing air on it.
Oh,
for it to, yeah.
How does that work when, well, to be fair, we haven't really been over your place in a while, so.
I just have a small little desk fan.
Oh, God.
I just plug into the same power strip.
Damn.
It works fine. Like, it could still go for like an hour without it, but it's like, okay.
I've actually never had my Switch overheat, which is good.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
I will, out of any piece of Nintendo hardware, the Switch for me has been by far the most like dysfunctional.
Yeah,
on the hardware side.
I kind of am the same way. Like that and the Wii, but we've talked about the Wii before. Okay, so but my only thing is like Nintendo hasn't. I know it's a weird years 2020, but like even 3DS upgrades, I don't think they ever like revealed them during a direct, right? Like,
did they not?
I don't. I could be wrong, but like I feel like they've never really done that before.
Well, I mean, like at the very least before the Switch, I feel like because the Wii U was a big thing at E3.
Right, but was it announced
was,
at E3?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Because I think they did that. There has to have been at some point when it was just like the new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, probably.
Like, there's no way there wasn't just like a small trailer in a direct. Just being like, oh, it's here and you can play Xenoblade Chronicles on it, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all that's new on it.
Well, yeah, the only exclusive game. No, Heroes, Fire Emblem Heroes, or Fire Emblem Warriors Heroes.
Oh Jesus! Oh God!
Yeah, it still doesn't even run well, apparently. Oh well. But that is not what we're here to talk about. Obviously, we have a big weekend ahead of us, with a whole bunch of E3 garbage. It's weird. Like, I will say, like, part of me is like, this year's gonna be big because I feel like stuff that has either been delayed we're finally gonna see more of, or like, but it's like at the same time I don't know like how much of what was supposed to be shown off last year in general was already shown off, you know?
It's the type of thing, it's a coin flip between how much has been delayed and is now ready to show now,
right,
mixed with how much would have been ready to show now but has been delayed because of last year.
Yeah, and
so it's like, okay, we'll see. I don't have too high expectations, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I hope I see something that I'm excited about.
And feel
technically we already have. It was leaked. And I'm like, okay, that's a solid reveal.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you excited at all for Elden Ring?
Oh my god. Like, okay, I won't lie and say that I'm not a little worried about open world Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like, technically, they've all kind of been open world, especially the first one.
Interconnected world.
But it's like open world in the same way Super Metroid is open world.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's much different from like open fields and like, I mean, you have a horse and that looks cool. And I definitely like how you can tell, like, from a lot of like the boss fights and stuff they showed in it, they're taking the power that next gen has potentially and doing that to be like, let's, instead of focusing on like graphics, let's just make cooler like large set pieces.
Yeah, I actually don't. What platforms was it announced? Is it PS5 and Series X and PC? I actually don't know this. Because that trailer, like the first opening shot where the character's like petting the horse, I'm like, oh god, this doesn't look good. I was like, this looks like a PS4 game, which isn't a bad thing.
It's coming to PS4 and Xbox.
Interesting.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the same.
The bones of that definitely show, and that's something that like I think we could talk about later. Like cross-gen is going to be a big thing this year, or like this generation.
Because, hey, guess what? All of the PlayStation 5 exclusives are out already.
It's true.
No more in development.
I have them all. I have Returnal, Demon Souls, and Ratchet and Clank, and that's it.
We have all three, baby.
That is
that's all we're getting for the next 2 years.
That is really disappointing. So maybe we'll see if there's anything, but probably not announced this weekend. But I doubt it.
I mean, because Sony isn't at E3.
No, they're not. Like they hate E3 now.
I don't think they're doing a state of play either.
I'm surprised by that, but it must be because they don't have much to show off. So
probably that.
Maybe last year they just showed off the console and then some games.
Yeah. Because at this point, I do like how. Because one thing that I always somewhat enjoyed from Nintendo at E3 was Treehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't watch all of it, but just the fact that I was like, okay, we showed you the trailer, but we're going to sit down here for a short period of time and just play the game a bit.
Yeah.
You know, even if it is very much like showroom demo reel.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like, this is very planned out. It's like, okay, you know, we're actually seeing how it looks.
Yeah, and it is like an actual build of the game, too. It's not like weird.
I do like how PlayStation recently has been like, okay, this Friday we're showing you 20 minutes of Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, they did that a lot last year with like Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. So
yeah, and they just did it with Horizon. Like,
Man, I should watch that. Even
it was
Keena's
pretty
been
cool. There's like this
some stuff.
really big elephant boss, and it looks pretty good. It
Ooh,
looks really cool.
an Oliphant.
Yeah.
It is definitely. There's going to be a lot of cross-gen. I mean, that's just how it is forever. Like, for you know, I would say we saw it the most with PS3 to PS4, you know, 360 to Xbox One. Like, cross-gen titles were, but not necessarily cross-gen exclusives. Exclusives were always on the new system. Like, even the only thing I can think of was like Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a timed exclusive released on 360 and Xbox One, and then Titanfall was on both, but it released after on 360.
Is because I think most studios, they're taking the next gen upgrade as we can beef our loading times and we can, I guess, add ray tracing, you know, and extra stuff with. But in all those games, they still have the options for the different like performance mode and all that.
True.
So I guess what I'm saying is, I feel like for the majority of developers and like gameplay, this is the smallest gap it is. Like, this is the gap where it's like, yeah, we can put this on PS4 too.
Right. But
there's no longer even that jump from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
You know, or especially from PS2 to PS3.
Oh my god, dude! Back in the PS2, PS3 cross-gen era, like PS2 games were completely different than the PS3 game. I have the Force Unleashed, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed on PS2, and then I have it on 360. The PS2 game is completely different. Like, it's crazy. Like, they get a whole different studio to build like the game. That is not happening with any of these. Like, it is all in-house, the same game, just gonna look prettier. Which, to me, I was saying this especially about Halo Infinite, but like it's disappointing because it means the general approach to design is going to be different. Like, they're not looking at like, oh, we can have this many animations or blah blah blah. It's like we're going to have PS4 level animations on Horizon Forbidden West. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's a little disappointing to me that it's like the groundwork can't even.
I'm a little disappointed too, but also with certain games, I'm like, I guess I kind of struggle to think how the game would expand and like really be benefit from the solid state and like the super fast loading, because frankly that's the big technological jump.
Oh yeah, no, like Ratchet and Clank could not work on a PS4.
Like, no, yeah, that's what's super impressive. But when God of War 2, they said it was PS4 as well. And people were like, oh man, now they're not going to be able to do like X or Y. And some examples were like, oh, we're not going to be able to have like super open field battles and stuff. And I'm like, well, with how that game works, that wouldn't be fun.
No.
You know?
Hell no. Unless they change the combat completely.
And like people were saying like, oh man, we're still going to have to be stuck like squeezing through cracks and climbing up walls for loading. And it's like, yeah. But frankly, at that point, it masked loading, but I think it was the stylistic choice as well. Oh, yeah.
No, for sure.
Because, like, then if you cut that out, then you're cutting out so much of the world itself. Yeah. You know?
But, okay, so keep this in mind,
I feel like even if they had the solid-state drive, a lot of that would still be there.
That's true. Jedi Fallen Order just got a lot of Star Wars today. That's my life. But Jedi Fallen Order just got its PS5 upgrade, like official PS5 version, and HDR is still broken. But like that game still has data streaming issues, even though it's running off. It's like there's problems that arise. Like, we're still gonna have shimmying through little rocks to load the next area. Like that is unavoidable, and that sucks because I'm tired of that. I played so many games over quarantine on PS4.
Even Ratchet and Clank still has it.
True.
Because whenever like in that first big opening set piece, whenever you're going through like go to like an entirely like super new area super fast,
you go through the purple stuff.
You're still like floating through, and while it's short, like it's
also trying to load multiple
tops. Yeah, like it's 3 seconds tops. We're still needing to do that.
No, for sure. Like, I'm just like,
now you're just gonna climb up very small cliffs.
Yeah. Oh my god! But
now Kratos can actually carry a crystal at a fast speed.
He can run,
but he can run with a crystal. We don't have to make him walk to load it better.
I think I'm worried the most for Halo Infinite because they have said it's going to be an Xbox One game, and like the base Xbox One, both the PS4 and Xbox One are using basically 2012, if not early, like late 2011 chipsets. It's like that's old stuff in there, and that's almost 10 years for a lot of games that are coming out this year and next year. And I don't know, it's definitely disappointing, but like that doesn't, like, God of War 2018 with its fancy, like, not PS5 update, but like the patch that made it like 4K 60, like it's still a great experience, you know, anyways. Yes, it has PS4 level textures. That won't be a problem with like Ragnarok on PS5. It's gonna have PS5 textures, blah 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 blah. But it's like, it's still a great experience, and like it does, you know, it's a business decision too. It's smart because there's 100 million PS4s out there or whatever, and so it makes sense.
People are saying like, oh, the PS5 is selling so much more, and it's like, okay, yeah, but you realize that's because like 15% of the people are buying 70% of the stock, right? Like,
yeah. But it's like even a game like Demon Souls, that's when did that game come out? 2011, 2010, the original. But like,
I mean, the remake, the loading is
yeah, no, it's great. Like, it's cool, but it's like that could have been a PS4 game, you know? It would have been fine. But like Returnal, hell no, that shit ain't gonna work on a PS.
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited. It's the type of thing where it's like, I'm excited because of Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah, dude, it is blowing my mind, the stuff it does.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm having so much fun.
No, Scott has the game in the PS5. I do not.
Oh, it's true.
I'm just watching things online.
But like there's a portal.
Like, dude, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like there's like bonus dimensions you go into, and like you just, the portal opens, you press L1 and boom. It's like, what the heck? It's insane. Ugh.
Like, I wonder how, because ultimately the one where there's like yellow rifts where you can just kind of warp around in arena.
Oh yeah.
Ultimately, all that's doing is you're just teleporting around, right?
Yeah.
But how the effect is done, I'm kind of convinced that they just have an entire separate copy of the level loaded up.
Oh, probably.
And they just push you in it.
Yeah.
You know?
What it's able to accomplish like with real time is insane to me. Like, it's really, like, I'm blown away by it. Like, I'm more blown away by this game than like.
I'm happy the game is good.
No, it's great.
Yeah, because I know the reboot.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
Based for PS4 was
not like, so great. Was that the movie tie-in?
Yeah, it was the movie tie-in, and the movie was bad. Like, at its worst, the gameplay of Ratchet and Clank, no matter what, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's fun, it's solid, but especially in that one, it's like, oh, it's lost all personality. It's
super nice too with this one, because I've only played the first one. I didn't even finish it. I got close, but I didn't finish. But it's like,
those old ones are hard.
Yeah, they're pretty difficult, and they're different.
I was stuck on the final boss of the first one for a hot minute. Oh
shoot! Oh god, I didn't even make it that far.
It was even worse. The final level is, oh jeez.
I'm scared. I don't know if I ever. Hopefully they. I don't know. Maybe with the resurgence of the franchise, like the modern, they'll port the HD collection or whatever. But anyways, this game's nice because literally the opening of the game is like they're throwing a party for Ratchet and Clank, and it's like, hey, this is the stuff they did, and remember this? I'm like, no, but thanks for telling me. It's pretty nice.
Thanks for telling me that this exists.
Yeah, I was like, thank God they did this, because I would be really lost and confused.
It's crazy. I didn't expect it after such a gap, because like the last, I guess, like in the quote unquote like timeline sequel, I guess, was like mid to late PS3. So
Dang.
And this is like a continuation from that.
That's wild. The whole console generation.
Like, yeah, it's kind of crazy that instead of being like, yeah, it's still reboot, they're like, no, we're rolling it back to the PlayStation 3 one.
That's really cool, especially for people that are like actually fans of the series and know what's happening. Like, that's cool.
True. We're both in the dark.
Yeah, no, that is definitely really cool, and it's good to see that. And the different like quality performance and performance ray tracing, it's like, I am happy with my PS5. You know, it's like I'm not saying like finally. It's like I pretty much felt that like in like January, like when still I had like 2 games. But it's like, I don't know. Now I have like,
I mean, just being able to play. Personally, I'm good with like just the upgrade of being able to play the games at like, you know, PlayStation 4 graphics at a consistent frame rate or better, you know?
Yeah. Performance.
Even that is like, that is just, oh.
Yeah,
even if
it's
I
really
am
nice.
also somewhat disappointed that we're not going to be seeing much of like games designed for that
At least
power.
right, but
Because even still, I think I might be willing to say that the new Ratchet and Clank might be the most impressive game technically I've ever seen.
I would agree. Like the stuff it is able to do with real time like rendering is like insane. Like
even on PC, you can't. They aren't designing games where they're like, we know you have this high of like a solid state. So Ratchet and Clank is really where it's like, oh my god.
The game just flexes constantly. It's like I'm like the developers must have had so much fun, like being like, "Holy shit, we can do this!" Like, whoa, that's crazy. I haven't. There's like games on. I haven't even played Sackboy yet. It has been sitting. I got it for $30, and I have not played it.
that ain't gonna be.
So I hope
special.
they don't announce Sackboy 2. You know, they're not going to. Plus, I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why we're talking about Sony so much. I'm enjoying.
This was gonna be like the announcements E3 episode, pre-E3 show, and we're just talking about it. It's because Ratchet and Clank is a game that came out, and we're like, dude, this game is dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's super cool.
Like I'm smiling, I want to play it right now, but I'm not going to.
I'm sitting here
curious.
talking to you in my gap between playing Guilty Gear Strive because that came out yesterday.
That's true. That's true. My question is, since you can move games from, they updated the PS5 a couple weeks ago, you can move PS5 only games onto the hard disk, like I don't think you can play them off the hard drive though. I don't think. I'm gonna have to test that because I want to put Rift Apart on there and see if like it just explodes.
It loads even faster.
No. On just like a normal USB hard drive kind of thing.
Oh,
because I don't think you can play the games off them. I don't remember. I think it's just done so you can like move it and so you don't have to uninstall it. But I don't know. Yeah. Call of Duty takes up so much room. I don't even know how much room I have anymore. But
anyway, so I mean, I guess it's nice that we're talking about it now because it's not going to be talked about next time.
Oh yeah, no.
Because next time is just going to be us either going, "Hey man, that E3 presentation was sick," or
that was
kind
boring.
of being like,
Yeah. I will say, okay, this is the bombshell question. Which quote unquote I don't even want to call them press conferences. Stream presentation are you most excited, like most looking forward to besides Nintendo? Again? Like, pretty much it's just Ubisoft, Square Enix, Microsoft, Bethesda, because they're combined this year. And then
I'm glad I don't have to sit through a Bethesda one on its own again.
And they were really bad the past few years. Like, ouch. And then EA has like their EA Play, but I don't think they have an official one this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh god, the PC gaming show. That's today or tomorrow.
You said Capcom had one as well?
Yeah, I don't know like how big a deal it's going to be, but they do have one on Monday.
Even if it's not a major deal, knowing that Capcom is putting out some things, intrigues me.
Especially after a really big release of, Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 7. 8 doesn't. Resident Evil 8 does not roll off my tongue quite as easily.
Capcom has just been hitting it out. I'm just kind of confused at what they're gonna do because they've put out a recent Monster Hunter. Put out a recent Resident Evil.
Rise or Stories is coming out too.
Street Fighter 5 is still ongoing, so we won't be seeing 6 yet. Because the reason we have this final season of 5 is because 6 was delayed.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm not a Street Fighter person at all, but that's probably a next year E3 thing, if anything.
It's like, like what? I'm just confused because I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they putting out?
There's that
They're not
one.
gonna have an E3 conference to be like, "Hey guys, we got a Dino Crisis reboot for you." Like,
no,
what?
Don't do that to me.
I don't know. Maybe we see a new Mega Man X or something. Because I know people were kind of rumoring that after Mega Man 11 came out.
Really interesting.
I don't think it was like much of like a leak or like people on the inside spreading rumors. It was just more like, hey,
is Pragmata the Capcom game? Yeah, so there is that game Pragmata, the spaceman and the little girl on Earth.
One I thought was
that looks like a Kojima game.
Stranding.
Yeah, it looks like a Kojima game. that's a Capcom game, so we might see that.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
Maybe we'll see like a remake of one of the older Devil May Cries in the 5 engine.
2 remake 2 good.
Don't remake 2. Remake one of the good ones.
I was literally just playing Devil May Cry 3 yesterday.
Yeah, just remake 3.
Remake that. That's a great game. Like,
that's the one that's fun.
3 is like 1 is cool. Like 1 is like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then
one has the vibes of like the first Zelda and Metroid, where you're like, yeah, this is jank and old, but I see where it's going.
And then you play 3 and your mind just it's really 3 is a really and good. Like I like 4 too. I've been playing a little bit of 4. I can't sit down and play these games for very long because I get way too frustrated. And I'm like, I'm gonna play this one now. But 4 apparently like gets a lot of hate, but I kind of like it. I don't know.
You're still playing as Nero.
That's true. Is the Dante stuff not good?
The issue with Devil May Cry 4 is it definitely had a troubled development.
I've heard that.
Finished.
That's
pretty much. So you play through. This is a spoiler, just so you know. Like, not a plot spoiler, but
not the
just
plot.
So you know, because it
5.
sucked. But you play through the game first as Nero, and you go through it, like all the stages and stuff, and it's great because they're designed for Nero. Everything's good, and then once you do that, Dante shows up, and you have to go through the entire game backwards as Dante.
Does Dante have
designed for him?
Yeah, Dante doesn't have a grappling hook. Oh no!
Doesn't have a grappling hook, and the bosses don't. You can't like interact with them in the same way you can with Nero.
Oh.
And then the final boss is garbage.
That's sad. That makes. I get it now. That does make sense. I never knew that.
But it's the one that like super hardcore fans like, because at least with Dante, like it's kind of like Melee, where there's like a super. It's like, okay, the casual player is not going to figure out this tech, but for those who do, it's like, oh my god,
interesting. Yeah, it did like. I don't know. We've talked about Devil May Cry enough in the past, but like I know it's not a PS3 exclusive, but like for a PS3 game, oh my god. It looks amazing. And I do have it on PS4, but I was like, I don't know. I'm a weirdo, but
I'll play it on the worst version.
It still looks great. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what it's. DMC5 is in the RE engine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see. Like
that's one thing because I can't think of much they can show.
And 3 would make sense because it's like the first in the timeline, so like it wouldn't be like, it's just 3. We picked a number out of a hat, but like that would make genuine sense.
I think that's the one where you could remake it and like go all out and have a good time with it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, especially since
there's some
the
parts
RE
of that
engine...
game that I don't like, but
hey, play the Switch version. Apparently, it's the best version.
Oh yeah, because in that one you can like full weapon and style switch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what are other Capcom games I'd like to see in the RE engine. Because, goddamn, like playing through Resident Evil 8.
There's no way we see Resident Evil 4 remake.
No. I feel like they'd be hyping up their presentation a little bit more.
Yeah, it's gonna be chill.
It'll definitely be chill.
And they just did their like mini Monster Hunter Direct. Where they're like, oh, here's the next update for Rise, and a little bit more on stories, too. So it's like, okay. So why do they have one?
Apparently the time changed from 2:25 to 2:30. That's really weird. Must have been a mistake on the article. Yeah, I don't know, because...
Square Enix is also going to be weird.
I feel like Square's is low-key going to be amazing, but I don't know why
I think out of the others... Because here's the thing, with Microsoft, it's going to be like, okay...
Halo.
There might
That's
be
all
some
I care
Bethesda
about.
Stuff.
I don't even need to see Elder Scrolls or Starfield. All I want is Halo Infinite to not disappoint me for 3 years in a row. That's all I want.
Dude, now it can disappoint me too.
Hell yeah!
Now we're in it together. To be fair, the best parts of Halo were the ones where you were outside.
That's true.
It was when you were going through same looking hallways.
I honestly
like, I am losing my mind.
I just realized I haven't even uploaded that episode. Oops, no one watches it anyway. So.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're doing this for ourselves.
It's true. Xbox, like, it's hard for me to get excited about another Gears of War game. Like even Halo, it's just like ugh. Like do new stuff. But they've acquired so many different studios over the past like, you know, generation. Like that was the whole thing they were doing towards the end of the Xbox One was like, hey, we bought this, we bought this, we bought this. So hopefully we'll see cool stuff like maybe Hellblade 2 will finally show up, or I mean,
Hellblade. Yeah, true, they announced that at the Game Awards, right?
Yeah, that was the first thing they were like, hey, Series X, baby.
I think that's something we'll see a bit of.
And Avowed from Obsidian Games, maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll see more of Perfect Dark. There was rumors that I've heard, I shouldn't say rumors, but speculation that the Banjo-Kazooie remake will happen. I'm like, nah. Nah.
If it did, I'd be very happy.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I want to play that game, but
it's a solid...
I also, like, the 360 arcade version is really weird to me. I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
I think it's because, even though it's likely the best version, it's because Banjo-Kazooie was on the N64.
The
so
buttons
like to
aren't
get
right.
quite a few of your moves, it was like you hold the Z button and press one of the C buttons, and then you like can keep moving on as long as you hold the trigger. So kind of doing that on a normal controller is weird.
Yeah. Whereas like Ocarina of Time feels fine on a 360 controller to me. Like as long as you button map things right. So that could be interesting. It's just like I don't know. I just really hope
Microsoft is a question mark because
they also don't have Cyberpunk to talk about this year. Hopefully not. You know.
Imagine the gall,
the upgrade,
for them to hype up Cyberpunk again at an E3 after that.
Yeah. Hey guys, Keanu Reeves is back, and he's here to tell you that the upgrade is coming in spring 2022.
Hey guys, remember when you guys got hyped because a celebrity was in a video game?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Didn't that work out well?
Oh boy. Unironically, I really want more info on The Witcher 3 next gen upgrade, because I'm dying to play that game for the 15th time. I really am. I'm so excited.
Square Enix is such a question mark for me.
Yeah, I'm like...
Because Dragon Quest is out the window. Like, there was a couple announcements that could have been Dragon Quest related that they could do here, but that's gone.
What was... Didn't Project Athia get a real name?
I do not know.
Because I think it did. And, like, will we see Final Fantasy 15? Or 16? Forspoken, it's called now. I guess we
have to.
Forspoken. That's the dumbest. I hate, like, game names, man. They're so bad.
I think,
Forspoken.
Because, let's see. What
the heck? The game's lead writer is Gary Whitta, previously the co-writer of Star Wars Rogue One. Oh,
no. Okay.
The game will be a PS5 exclusive for 2 years.
Okay. I mean, that's a game that's being built for...
Yeah.
Like, next gen, so that's...
It has, like, really weird movement, so it's like, what the fuck? Are we just moving around an open world? Is it Death Stranding? Is it a Strand-type game?
Is it a Strand-type game?
Oh, no.
Because 7 Remake Intergrade came out.
I still haven't played it. Ugh.
We have...
I don't know if I want to pay $20 to play Yuffie, but we'll see.
The Dragon Quest thing revealed. Dragon Quest 12 is in development, and like the story is finished, I think. And then a remake of 3 in the Octopath engine.
Do we see a Tomb Raider 8 collection of the original games?
That could be it. I forgot it's Tomb Raider
anniversary.
Square.
Yeah. They're the Enix
it's
part.
Like Triangle Strategy is gonna be in the Nintendo one if it shows up.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get info on that for a while.
To God, Octopath Traveler was already absurd. I swear, they better keep Triangle Strategy as the.
You want them to keep it?
Please,
dude. That demo was awesome. So I really
didn't play much of it. I'm interested. You know, the engine looks great. The remake of Dragon Quest 3 looks awesome.
That does look
good. Personally, I think that the HD 2D engine is building towards like its ultimate goal. I think it's going to be a remake of Final Fantasy VI. I think that's the game where it's like just the aesthetic of that game fits with the strengths of that engine.
Yeah, and then I don't have to play a mobile version of it. I have the PS1 version, but the sound isn't right. Rumble.
When people talked about it, I've heard some people say like, "Oh, what if they did Chrono Trigger remake in that engine, and I'm like, it wouldn't work though.
I feel like the aesthetic isn't right. Like
but also just because
could you imagine?
Chrono Trigger doesn't have a difference between battle screen and
that's true. The battles
screen.
Are on the main screen. That's true.
They deal with perspective a lot.
That's a game I also own and haven't played. Like, what is wrong with me?
I'd be totally down to see a Chrono Trigger remake.
I mean, I would too, as long as it's good.
If you made a Chrono Trigger remake in the style of Final Fantasy VII remake, but minus the Tetsuya Nomura postmodern
Don't make
stuff,
it 15 parts, please.
Because the thing about Chrono Trigger, I've played, I think the beginning part, I've played up to where it's like,
which version
is the villain, the Steam one,
okay,
and it wasn't running super well.
I have the PS1 version. I decided why not, because plus I got Final Fantasy 4, 5. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 4 on that. It's 4 on that collection.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think the loading times on those
yeah, they're not that bad. People complain about them. They're not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially if you're playing on PS2, it's not that bad.
But from what I understand of Chrono Trigger, it's a tight game.
Yeah, it's not very long.
Maybe 20 hours at most.
Yeah, so, I think it's shorter than that, but I could be
15,
wrong.
Yeah,
I know it's shorter than Final Fantasy VI.
In the dichotomy of JRPGs either being 20 or less or 80 or more, it's in the 20 or less. It's a shorter one. It's tight. It keeps you going. It paces well. So I think it could be done in a single game remake.
It would be, and plus I feel like it's too they're not gonna do a Final Fantasy VI remake yet. I feel like they can't. It's too soon. Probably.
I think if they did,
overshadowed
it would have to
by
be in
7
HD 2D.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm saying don't remake Final Fantasy VI in the style of 7 remake where it's 3D and it's action. Remake it super faithful, just make it look incredible.
God, Final Fantasy, I haven't even played 6.
The translation,
and yet I've watched playthroughs of it and listen to reviews. God, that's a game I really want to just dive into, but I'm scared. I'm scared of 1 through 6.
The aesthetic is the steampunk.
Yeah,
it's very snowy and brown, and that's the stuff that I think the HD 2D engine is okay.
Is that the engine that's used in 11S Dragon Quest?
No, that's
the 3 remake.
Octopath.
Oh, you're talking about that one.
Yeah, that's what Dragon Quest 3 is.
I thought you were talking about the Dragon Quest 11 one.
No. What I'm saying is Dragon Quest 3, Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler, I think that is building towards Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool. Plus Final Fantasy VI has amazing music, so just shoot. Honestly, I'd take it. I've not even played it. I have no attachment to it besides hearing all the hype.
Yeah,
but it's.
I mean, this is the thing where we're stuck at, where it's there's nothing.
Yeah,
we have no idea what they're gonna
Just
do.
Cause 5, baby. Let's go.
Oh God, you're right.
Let's go, baby.
Dude, we're gonna see another trailer for Avengers.
Oh God, Avengers PS5 update. Did that ever come out? I think I got the. No, it did come out. I think. I don't remember.
I don't think anyone's playing it. That game
all I see is player count videos are the player count is blah blah blah. It's okay. Oh man, Square
died because it's bad.
I'm trying to think what else is Square that's weird that no one thinks about besides Tomb Raider.
Killed Deus Ex.
Oh yeah, that's not happening.
No, yeah, it's not happening because the devs are making Avengers.
Yeah. Wait, Crystal Dynamics is that team?
Yep.
Oh, so maybe they won't. I
believe the last made Deus Ex game ended on a cliffhanger, and then they had to go make this live service broken game.
Dang, Avengers took that long?
Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy, because I know... Maybe that makes sense, too, because Rise of the Tomb Raider was Crystal Dynamics, and then Shadow of the Tomb Raider was Eidos Montreal, so they didn't even work on that game. So that's why it's shite. Just kidding. It's a good game. The story's just bad. That also makes me think we won't see a mainline Tomb Raider game either. It's been enough time, I think, but since obviously they did Avengers, and that's the sad thing about live service games is even if it's shite, they still have to stick with it for a little bit.
Yep.
Then Spider-Man hasn't even come. Oh man. Oh, that's a game that I refuse to buy, even though I'm so curious. And like, I'm a big Marvel fan. Like, it's like
no, there's nothing of value.
I've heard the story's good. That's like all I've heard about it. Even like people that like hate that game are like, the story's good. So I don't know.
I'm just thinking like, okay.
Square, baby.
The other thing that happened recently.
What was the trial, the Mana game, the GBA remake, trials, whatever? I don't know. Adventure of Mana. I don't know.
Legend of Mana, I think.
Yeah, will we see more of that?
I think it comes out like next week.
Are they going to talk about the Kingdom Hearts PC releases?
Already out.
Oh, I thought those came out in July. Oh.
Maybe. I could have sworn you can buy them on Epic already.
I think it's pre-order, but I'm trying to think. Literally, what else is Square Enix besides Final Fantasy? I don't know.
There's like nothing. It's like, okay. The more we talk about this, the more I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a nothing year.
Yeah, but it's like, this is also the year, again, like 2019 was a transitional year. It was the end, nearing the end of the 8th generation. You know, the new consoles weren't even like official yet, and so it's like they couldn't really talk about that. So it's like, this is the year to finally say, hey, we're working on this fun thing for this. And even if it's not a AAA game, it's like
like, I guess the only thing they have is Final Fantasy 16, a new trailer,
and that's big enough. Like, that's a, you know,
it's been a year.
When was that game given a? That's true.
That was PlayStation. That was the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that was PlayStation. The all they've done since then was release like character information a little bit and like posters. I think that's all they've done since then.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. Like, I'm down to see more of that for sure. Like, I know there's some people that are not like that excited about this. The only like main thing that people are like, hell yeah, is because it's the same writer as Final Fantasy 14, Realm Reborn, and all that stuff. So
it's by the 14 team, which is like, okay, this is the team that's knocking it out. This is the team.
I just know there's some people that are like concerned about the setting and that, you know.
I mean, yeah, we don't know enough, but like just from the gameplay briefly we saw, it's like, okay, it's kind of funny where Final Fantasy is trying to get as far as away from turn-based RPG, just become an action game. And in the Dragon Quest event, when they talked about how like 12, we're going to be mixing it up a little bit to make it more engaging, I saw people in the comments literally being like, I swear to God, if they add ATB bars, I'm going to be pissed.
The Dragon Quest? Oh, God.
Yeah, Dragon Quest, I mean, its identity literally is like, this is the classic JRPG.
And it's a shame, too, because Final Fantasy, like, it would have been amazing.
We like it that way, and we want it that way.
Yeah, I mean, hey, more power to them. Because I want a turn-based Final Fantasy modern one. Like, it would, like, seriously, think about this. 7 Remake, that's a great real-time, like, system. Make that the real-time, because it's going to sell just as good, if not better, probably, than 16. Make 16 a turn-based one. Like, it would have been perfect. You'd have the two.
I think 16 is just... Personally, I think 16 is just going to be a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's just going to be an action game. Like,
probably. No.
Because it's not made by Capcom and how we've seen their action combat work, it's fine, but it doesn't have, like, the depth of, you know, like, dedicated platinum Capcom action games, you know?
Right.
Just because usually in those games, it's much more like, you press the button and you do the combo. And maybe you activate like a special ender. Whereas, you know, Bayonetta and Devil May Cry, it's like, okay, yeah, you have commands to mix in and weapon switching.
Yeah.
Like, keep in mind, Final Fantasy 15, which was the other one that was fully action, wasn't its combat literally just hold square?
Yep.
Like,
I've played the tutorial of 15, and I was like,
there's probably some more you can do later, but it's like, okay.
I was genuinely like shocked. I was like, huh? Like, and I'm not like that snob, right? I'm not a snob when it comes to Final Fantasy. I mean, I like them all. They're cool. But it's like, what the fuck? Like,
this is it?
I'm like, I was like, what? I was blah. Because literally, I've been playing Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, which is basically Final Fantasy X. And I'm like, this is amazing. Please, make more turn-based games. Please, for the love of God, make more turn-based games.
Dude, come to Dragon Quest Land.
I have 11 sitting on my shelf right there, calling to me. And I haven't played it. And here I am complaining.
You excited for
Parasite Eve remake?
That they could do it.
Please.
That could be it.
I'll play it.
I'd be
I don't
down.
want to play it on PS3.
Don't acknowledge the third one.
What was the second one? Like, what was that? Was it a PS1 game too?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was just kind of like, eh.
I feel like no one talks about it. Everyone talks about the first one and the third one.
It's because the first one is like a classic, cult classic, and the third one is terrible.
Dude, Parasite Eve has amazing music. Oh man, please do that.
The third one fits perfectly in what I like to call the character assassination trilogy of
I've
games.
I've heard it's a bit of a eesh. Hey, maybe
it's
they'll
Parasite Eve, The Third Birthday, DMC Devil May Cry, and Metroid Other M.
Oh, how PSP was The Third Birthday? Was it like weirdly PSP, or was it like pretty okay, pretty normal?
I do not know.
Okay, because like I just finished
like a full-on third-person shooter.
Oh god,
like, what?
Because I just finished Crisis Core, great game, but that's very much a PSP game. Like it was designed with the PSP. Like, hey, this is a handheld. You're only going to play for like 5 minutes a day, which was great.
I think it's pretty PSP.
Okay.
Oh,
dang.
It's very PSP.
Whereas like Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, like I've only played the HD version of that game. Like it feels like a console game that they just squeezed down. Like the controls are really the only thing, and like there are like omissions from like gameplay because you can't put a PS2 game on a PSP exactly. So, but like that felt like a genuine like. I like it, especially since 5 has come out and basically has the same like gameplay system where like it's because what do they call it, tactical espionage operations. That was the first tactical espionage operations compared to tactical espionage action. So it's like it's basically fine enough. So, but obviously I don't know anything about The Third Birthday. So
I hate the fact that Sony is not here. Because they're the studio that I have ideas
Me
for.
too. I'm like, I keep saying, oh,
because
wait,
you
that's
just
Sony.
talked about Metal Gear, and I'm like, oh yeah, like what if Blue Point did a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1? And then I was like, wait, no, they're not here.
Nope.
Also, they just did Demon Souls.
Everyone is not here.
I don't know. Sega announced another Team Sonic game.
Okay, I've not paid any attention to any of the Sonic news, and I feel like I'm not even missing anything. Like. Was it an Unleashed port announced?
A Colors port.
Okay, I keep hearing people talk about Unleashed for some reason. But that's okay. Colors I've heard actually really good things about, so that's exciting.
It's good. I replayed it. I recompleted it last year during COVID, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I have quite a few.
Would you play the Wii version?
Yeah, I mean that's the only version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was 2. Isn't there a DS version of Colors?
Oh, there's a DS version,
okay.
But
well, I'm thinking of Unleashed, where the Wii and 360 version are like completely different.
Yeah. Unleashed is a game where half of this is possibly the best Sonic game since the Genesis, and half of it is garbage.
Dang, I love games like that. I really just like The Last of Us Part 2. Am I right? Okay.
It's like, dude, this is dope. And the other half is, oh god, they wanted to do God of War, but didn't understand why it worked.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so literally in 30 minutes or so, the Ubisoft press conference is happening. And
okay, so let's wrap this up within the next 30 minutes.
I know you probably don't give a fuck about Ubisoft, and like every year I slowly start to care less and less. Like, I will say, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, pretty good game, pretty solid. I liked it quite a bit. Watch Dogs Legion, not so much. And
here's the thing,
I haven't played a Far Cry game since 3, so it's like all their IPs they're pushing right now, I don't care. Like
all their IPs are the same game.
Yeah, and it's like Far Cry 6 looks interesting, but like all we know is the story. Like we don't know anything about the game. So
to be fair, it's Far Cry.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty much the same, probably a bigger scale with marginal changes.
Like 4,
like
literally,
the core gameplay structure is going to be the same.
Yeah, 4 was literally 3, but in the mountains, and that's why I didn't play it. I was like, I've played 4. Like, not even Troy Baker could make me play that game. Okay.
And then 5 was 3, but
in Montana,
like, or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like but the games that I want to see. Like, I just played Beyond Good and Evil, like, the Xbox version, or whatever. I didn't play the HD version, because I'm an idiot. But, like, we're not going to see Beyond Good and Evil 2. That game's dead, right? Like, that game is literally dead. Like, I will be...
It's the thing where literally the one game I would have been interested to see has already been revealed. It's already been leaked.
Oh, that's true. And apparently some weird, like, guitar thing got leaked. But the other game that's never coming out, Skull and Bones, like, the two games that I actually want to see and am interested in are never going to happen. Instead, it's going to be, here, this Rainbow Six Siege year 47, and this is the new guy, and this is the competitive. It's like, I don't care. Division, or not Division, yeah, did Division 2 even come out? I don't know. They're probably going to talk about Division 2 expansion. Yeah. That the mobile
it's Assassin's Creed, but now it's with Samurai.
They showed off the Ghost Recon Breakpoint like 2 years ago, and it's like, that bombed. Apparently, that game sucked from what I heard. Even our good friend Ethan, who loves himself some Ghost Recon, thought it was terrible, and that's saying a lot because he normally doesn't say that about games.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. What are they going to show me? Nothing. I
guess
don't know.
Then we have one question to ask, Scott.
Just Dance 2023.
I can't believe we've gone this far without really talking about it.
Nintendo.
But Nintendo is on Tuesday?
Yeah, or no, Monday.
Whatever day it is.
I think it's Monday, the 15th.
15th?
All I know is it's at 9 a.m.
Yep. What do you think?
Tuesday, June 15th.
So, what? Okay, let's get it out of the way. We do this every time. What's the
Who
Smash?
is it?
Who is it?
Give me Chief, please, Master Chief, please, please.
It's like, okay,
please.
I think it has to be something bigger. You know.
What you say about my boy? I'm just kidding.
No,
John,
I mean, like,
117. Hello.
I'm just saying, like, the past. Well, the last one was Pyramithra.
Who is the biggest reveal of Smash in, like, out of everything? Cloud, Snake, or Banjo in your mind? Like, who is or Joker? Like, who's the biggest, like...
Steve.
Yeah, Steve broke Twitter, you're right.
Steve.
Jonesy, baby.
Other than that, Cloud. Other than that, Snake.
Dude, Cloud still, I think about
Joker.
that.
I'll be real, it's probably, like, the start, like, the first third party of each cycle.
Yeah.
Is probably the biggest one.
Because each one broke a barrier.
It was Snake, it was Cloud, it was...
Because Snake had been
Joker,
on Nintendo. Final
Steve.
Fantasy 7? No.
I don't know, man. I just want to see someone cool.
I mean, I'm at a point where I don't care. I'll be excited whoever it is. Like, Steve was hype. Sephiroth, amazing. Pyramithra, interesting. You know, it's like, cool. They're cool. I like them. That's hype.
That was my first JRPG, and I was like, okay.
So it's like, whoever it is, I'm sure, like, they're smart. They know who to pick. Like, if it's Crash... Dude, I want to play Crash 4, but that game is never going down in price. But,
what if it... Okay,
Dante?
I'm a Bandana D guy. I'm a Bandana D simp. But, like, what if it's Bandana D?
For E3?
For E3. I would be hype.
It'd be interesting. Because I don't think they'd end with him. I would
freak out. But it's like, no one else would care. People would be pissed.
I feel like the Bandana D hype is long past us.
We have one more after this.
That's true.
Are we gonna get 2 in this? Is that the twist?
Maybe. I mean, because, like...
They've done it before where they've, like, shown gameplay of one, but just teased the other.
Oh, yeah. Because, let's see, 2019 was a pretty good Nintendo E3, all things considered. Like, we got Banjo Hero. They did Banjo and Hero right at the beginning. I think
they did Hero at the beginning and Banjo at the end.
No, because Breath of the Wild was at the end.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the one more thing.
I think it was actually like a 3-tiered ending.
Yeah,
actually.
Maybe it was.
I think it was Banjo, and we were like, "Great, that was it. That was sick." And they were like, "Wait."
I think that's what it was. So it's like, is there one more thing? Like, closing out on Smash.
We're gonna see Breath of the Wild 2.
Right.
Something about it.
Oh man, I hope. And that's the other thing.
Then what do they have?
Do you think people are like genuinely thinking that game's coming out this year? And I'm like, you're crazy. They would not. I know it's an anniversary year, but they would not release Skyward. They would not hype up Skyward Sword as much as they are, and then release Breath of the Wild 2 4 months later.
Look, apparently Look, apparently
because we got Age of
Pokemon
Calamity last year.
Legends Arceus is coming out in January,
Yeah.
so I don't think that anything.
That's
think
true.
Anything's possible.
I was like January with the way that game looked in the last.
People were like, "It's gonna be good. It's early," and I'm like, "No, this is Pokemon Company. You don't know."
I'm like, I was like, that's a spring at least game, at least.
The way that game looked, and with the credit that I give Game Freak, that game needed to come out 2023.
Oh God,
they needed that much time.
Not even holiday 2022.
That studio.
I'm sorry.
Holiday 2022, fine, but like,
yeah,
I have no faith in them.
Because like, I personally, I see Breath of the Wild 2 in the spring at least. I like people like it's gonna come out this year. It's the holiday game. I'm like, Mario Kart 9's the holiday game, baby. Yay!
I'd be excited. I think that'd look cool. But it's the type of thing where
keep in mind the holiday game last year was Age of Calamity, so anything's possible. We didn't even know that game existed until like a month before
it came out. I think it was September and November.
And I've barely played it because it runs like crap. I want to play it.
It runs terribly, but I'm a sucker for just beat 'em up games. But like, they have to show that. Dude, they cannot. I guess I have no faith after how they handled Mario Anniversary last year.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just like, they can't just leave Zelda Anniversary at an HD port of Skyward Sword. They can.
You know how when you boot up Skyward Sword it has like the 25th anniversary thing?
Yeah.
What if they just change? They remove a 2 and make it a 3.
Oh my god!
Please do it, Nintendo.
Talk about.
I'll buy your $80 Joy-Cons if you do.
Talk about double dipping. It isn't even a remake. It's just an HD port of a previous anniversary game.
Oh.
That adds a new layer.
It's also like
to it.
It's also in my like. I hate.
It's the worst Zelda other than Zelda 2.
It's the worst like 3D Zelda. Like
it's the worst Zelda in general other than Zelda 2.
Damn, 100%. Your opinion has changed since we last spoke about Skyward Sword. I feel like last time I was like, it's the worst one, and you're like, but.
I just thought about the other Zeldas, and I'm like, nah, the other ones are good.
Yeah, I don't like Skyward Sword. I'm looking forward to revisiting it at least, but
it's just.
Because I want to play it in HD, not on...
Dude, and then they locked, like, the best...
Oh, the amiibo thing is stupid.
Quality of life behind an amiibo.
Oh my god.
Really making me feel better about the game, guys.
I normally don't get that mad about stuff, like, anymore. But, like, that is really bad. Like, that's worse than the Wolf Link amiibo in Twilight Princess, like where you're literally locking behind content behind something that most players will never get because amiibos. But like this is literally
least the Wolf Link came with the game in its first run.
That's true. You know? I really wish I had the Wolf Link amiibo because it's amazing in Breath of the Wild. But it's anyways,
cool. Oh, yeah, I forgot that was the thing.
Yeah, that was like a big E3 thing, and I was like. And it's like no one talked about it.
God, what are we gonna see, man?
I feel like Nintendo is
the Donkey Kong game. We gonna see?
Hey, I don't know. I feel like I part of me feels like the Donkey Kong thing is a Star Fox Grand Prix situation.
Is this finally time, Scott, when we see Pikmin 4?
Hey,
we know it exists.
Do we? Do we?
Miyamoto said it existed.
Oh.
He said, like, during the Wii U that Pikmin 4 was in
that's right. That is right.
And I believe he stated that Hey Pikmin wasn't Pikmin 4 as well. So...
there you go.
Maybe it's been canceled. Okay, but, like, that's a question mark.
Part of me is like, was Pikmin 3 the litmus test? The DX or whatever? Maybe
it might have been the litmus test just to make sure they understood how like the controls would work
on the Joy-Con.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Remember? Oh man. No. Like remember with the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, they were like, we want to use the gamepad, and like that was like the big thing. It's like we want to utilize the, and then Breath of the Wild, it didn't even. It's like, come on.
It's like, okay, I'm just thinking like. And it sucks because there are like some studios or like series back in the day that I'd be like, this could be a dark horse E3 pick. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, maybe Alpha Dream is probably working on something, and there's a new Mario and Luigi for Switch, but they're closed down.
No.
Like, so what can we do?
There is a lot of talk about a 2D Metroid.
Again?
Yeah, people are talking about it, and I'm like,
I'd be down. It'd be something to play that I would be excited for.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like Bayonetta 3? Huh?
That game, I doubt it, because I believe Kamiya himself was like, we're keeping it quiet. I think he himself stated like, oh, we announced it early, and we're not going to show it until we're like ready.
Okay. Metroid. Well, it's not like Metroid Prime 4 where they restarted development.
Jesus Christ. There's no way that game shows up.
No. I'll be impressed.
Does, I will. Like,
yeah.
Are we going to get, I don't know, are we going to get a 3D Zelda collection?
See, this is the thing.
Or 2D Zelda collection, maybe?
This is the thing.
That's it. Maybe we'll
2D?
Maybe we'll get
Minish Cap, Ages, Oracle games, or
yeah, maybe we'll get, like, at the very least, either Minish Cap or the Oracle games done in the Link's Awakening. That could be done.
I want that, but see, this is the problem. I feel like since the 3DS, Nintendo has just stopped giving a fuck. Like, I feel like if this was a 3DS E3 with the 3DS, we would get, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we got fucking, like, we got 2 Zelda games in 1 year. One was a remake, and then there was a new one. That was 2011. We got Ocarina 3D, and then Skyward Sword. And I feel like that's just never going to happen again. Like, I really doubt we're going to see Nintendo release 2 Zelda games, even if they're just ports, you know? I just don't see them doing it.
I think it is kind of because there isn't the distinction between handheld and
no, that's definitely it. Definitely.
So I think the handheld studios are now taking on much bigger projects. So there's going to be larger gaps.
What's the company? Grizzo? What are they up to these days?
They were the ones who did the Link's Awakening.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah. I'm an idiot.
That's why I was saying I think they maybe, because back when
it's been almost 2 years since Link's Awakening. Oh my god!
Even back when it launched, I was like, you can just use this engine and do Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Is this going to be
within the style? And
right?
There's quite a few, like, reused character models and stuff.
Yeah.
You could do it.
I mean, people said the same thing when Resident Evil 2 remake came out. They're like, just do it with 3, and then literally like a year later, it happened.
3 is like,
3 remake's not that great.
It's the worst $60 sequel. It's the best $30 DLC.
Oh, it is for sure.
That is my take on Resident Evil 3.
For sure.
If it was DLC, paid DLC for 2, no complaints. But because I had to pay $60 for that,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
And they took out oh man, there's some things that like I've played a ton of 2, and so when I like boot up 3, I'm like, oh, you can't the knife isn't a thing. Like, you can't stab. It's like, okay, all right.
And stab is no longer function.
But I don't know. Like, Zelda is my favorite Nintendo franchise, so I'll take whatever they give me. I will eat the slop before me. But
maybe we'll see something new for Kirby.
People have been talking about that, like a 3D Kirby, maybe.
Because I do personally feel, as the Kirby historian, Star Allies, despite the fact that I was pretty disappointed in it, it definitely felt like, oh yeah, this is like kind of an end, like a conclusive thing. Like, it was very much like a celebration of past things. So it's like, okay, I think it could be signaling that they're trying something new. You know?
That's interesting, especially since I don't know, I keep thinking back to E3 2018, the good one, the best one ever.
Because that was Smash.
Yeah, well, no, that was 2019. Oh no, that was 2018. Wait, which E3 was it? Wait, are you telling me Smash was that everyone was here was the same fucking presentation as Metroid Prime 4? Or no, E3 2017 was Metroid Prime 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of that
Metroid.
I'm thinking of that one.
2017 was the one where they were like, okay, guys,
I keep thinking to the moment.
Things have been pretty cool. but here's Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Here's more Mario Odyssey.
I'm
here's
thinking
a Kirby game and a Yoshi game and a this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of that moment when Metroid Prime 4 Bombshell happened, and like then it was Yoshi. Like, hello? It was really just like Yoshi. And it's like, I don't think Nintendo has that in them anymore, you know? Like, I feel like the Switch is so weird because we got Zelda and Mario in the same year. We got a Fire Emblem game really soon after that. Splatoon. Like, all these IPs.
Oh yeah, Splatoon
really quickly.
3 is happening.
I don't know if we'll see that, but maybe.
We'll probably see a trailer.
Maybe.
Like, I bet we'll probably see something, and then there'll be a Treehouse segment where they're like, we're gonna play a match of Turf War on the new map.
Good.
Like, you know.
It's like Nintendo has been... They are so different than they were in the Wii U era, in my opinion. Like, I feel like Nintendo in the Wii U era was like, we'll announce things, and good luck. Like, and then the Treehouse will happen, maybe. But it's like, I feel like Nintendo is so different now, where it's like, I feel like they almost learned their lesson with stuff like Metroid Prime 4 and stuff, where it's like, even Breath of the Wild.
Here's the thing, it feels like we're back in Wii U scale of like timing of announcements and number of them. We just don't have the 3DS constantly but it's pushing out bangers.
Even during that era, E3 every year it was like, all right, here we go. So it's like, I don't know.
I think personally it was because of the 3DS reveals.
Yeah.
Because the majority of them was, you know? And then the hope, the
Fire
prayer would be like, hey, are we gonna see Zelda Wii U this year?
Yeah.
And then eventually they named it Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, okay. If they show us a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2...
They have to. We're gonna see something of it.
When they do, they're definitely not giving us the title, I don't think. Like, so what are they gonna call it?
I don't know. I want Link to die and you play as Zelda.
The sequel to Playable Zelda. Playable Zelda is the Mephisto of Nintendo. Change my mind. It is not happening. I refuse to believe it.
Please. It'd be so cool though.
The thing is, I believe it, but I don't want to.
At the very least, this next game better have you just traveling with Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah,
if
like in the cutscenes.
And you go down that cave, and then you wake up like corpse Ganon. No. And he infects Link's arm, and either he takes Zelda away, or Link gets, like, summoned to a different place. Oh god, is that what's happening in the trailer?
I don't know.
No, Scott, I think I cracked the code. Scott, I'm self-disappointing myself.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because the thing that was happening with his arm...
Yeah.
It looks like when you teleport in the game. So what if he's just being teleported away?
What if he's Nero?
That's what I thought was happening. I thought he was like getting infected or something. It was gonna be a cool thing. But what if he's just like, oh, now you're in low rule again?
Oh, low, dude, that would be crazy for the timeline.
If they decided to be like, hey guys, low rule is back and Hilda's in it now, it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, oh man. See, the thing is, like, I
just
don't
want Zelda to be a character, dude.
I don't know what they're gonna do, because my biggest thing going into Breath of the Wild 2 was like, Breath of the Wild 1, I was like, oh, they're gonna do this with the story, and the Gorons are gonna do this, and it's like, everything I predicted about the story was fucking wrong. So it's like, I'm trying so hard to just be like, all right, it's gonna be a game, and I'm even being careful to say they're reusing the same map, so they're gonna, like, how are they gonna make the game fun? Like, I don't know. I
think it has to be more linear.
Yeah.
I think the focus has to be on going, like, underground into dungeons and stuff.
But then you're gonna have the people that complain about Skyrim, where they're like, there's this huge open world and all you do is crawl around in dungeons.
Yeah, but, like, Zelda 1 is, like, the artsy-fartsy piece. I mean, Breath of the Wild 1, you know? It's like it's like the Majora's Mask.
Yeah, no, I want them
we did this crazy thing once, and no, we're not doing it again.
And I want them to take risks, special thing. Sure.
It doesn't appeal to everyone, but to the people it does appeal to, it's the best one.
Yeah, it's true. Like,
and I feel Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be more like, yeah, it's a...
I don't want them to play it safe. Please don't give us another Skyward Sword. Please.
There's no way... The worst part about Skyward Sword was the hand-holding.
Yeah.
Was the fact... Skyward Sword is like the most... If you were to make it as linear and as distilled as possible of the Zelda formula... you'd get Skyward Sword. And there's no way they go back to that, you know? I'm fine if they rein it back, Some.
Hey Link, your Zelda just is like, hey Link, your your Joy-Cons are low. Charge them,
dude. That I just want. Oh my god, we're gonna see something of it.
Yeah,
you know, even if it's just like cutscene.
Yeah,
there's gonna be something, and there's going to be a year.
Yeah,
at least.
2022. I definitely don't think it's coming out this year. I'll be surprised. If Skyward Sword HD wasn't a thing, I'm sure. But
it's the type of thing where, like, because when they announced Skyward Sword HD, they're like 35th anniversary. We can't show you Breath of the Wild 2 yet, so here's this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, there has to be more, right?
Right?
Like, the weird thing about Skyward Sword HD is that it's more disappointing than the Mario anniversary, but it's less aggravating than the Mario anniversary.
I can agree with that.
Because the Mario one was like, oh look, all these things, I like all these things.
All these great games.
Each one has this monkey paw.
These two great games.
Yeah, but the Mario one has this monkey's paw of like, oh, you can't play this after March, and oh, it's limited run, even digitally for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, that just makes me...
Dude, I saw the game in Target. I'm not even joking. I saw the game at Target. I was like, oh my god.
At least it's not that
But it's like, at least with that, I was like, okay, I'm excited to play Galaxy again. Like,
yeah.
Whereas with Skyward Sword, I'm kind of like,
But Skyward Sword, it's like, it's an HD1, and they're allowing you to play without motion
It's
controls.
60 FPS, I guess.
You know, and it's HD.
Yeah.
I do like the look of Skyward Sword.
I think
the watercolor.
The problem is, I don't think it's gonna look as good in HD because, like, the Wii,
probably not.
It had the whole not only is it 480p, but it's like that. The reason they went with that style is because it was a really old console, basically.
It's the same thing they did with old sprites.
Oh yeah,
where they worked with the smoothing that a CRT gives you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
To make it more clear.
I definitely think that was the Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't want to hate on Skyward Sword forever.
There has to be something more, even if it's just stupid. Like,
Fighters Pass 3, baby.
Triforce Heroes, but it's 2-player now for Switch for the Joy-Cons. Like, come on.
Oh man. Yeah. See, I think it's a little wishful thinking for the Oracle remakes to happen. Yet, I think that's probably
be something though, right? It's 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. They'll talk about the Dark Crystal Netflix tie-in game for 20 minutes.
We have two options here. We have the realistic one and the non-realistic one to me. The non-realistic one is that it's like 20 minutes of reveals and then 25 minutes of Breath of the Wild 2.
But have they ever really done a direct where they're like, here's the game?
Yeah, Smash Ultimate 2018.
I almost said, well, that's Smash, and then I was like, well, actually, this is literally Zelda.
And even then, I think back when it was one of the first times we saw Breath of the Wild, that was like the theme of their event, you know?
That's true.
But then again, I think that's unrealistic because also we have the Treehouse.
That is also true. We'll probably see Pokemon during the Treehouse.
How are we gonna fill 45 minutes? We already know Hollow Knight ain't showing up.
No.
Team Cherry was straight up said, we are not at E3.
Yeah, please do not yell at us.
Thank you, my kings. Continue your work.
Please don't yell at us.
They can't... Mario Golf is already coming out next month, or the end of this month.
Yeah.
It's like, okay...
We're gonna get a trailer for that, maybe.
Mario Party?
See, Arlo mentioned this in his video.
Is it gonna actually ship with the online at launch?
Maybe. Arlo mentioned this in his video, but he was like, I don't see them doing like a sports game and a Mario Party game in the same year or like same quarter. And I was like, that kind of makes sense, but I don't know. When did Super Mario Party come out? And then when did Aces come out?
2018.
Was Aces 2017?
2018? Also, I think it was summer and fall.
They'll do it. Maybe. But it's like, what do we... I don't know.
What is there?
See, that's why I'm excited, but I'm also like, I shouldn't get excited because there's not going to be anything. I don't know.
It's just the thing where, like, all the previous ones...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if
This is the problem with the Switch. They burn out.
God,
they burn out the gas.
I wish we didn't have a direct in February.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
so
some of
recent.
those reveals would be good ones for here. Like if they revealed Splatoon 3 here and Triangle Strategy, I'd be like, hell yeah, this is great.
Right.
But it's like, now that those are already out the door, those were my 2 free, like, past jail free cards.
Yeah.
Like, where it's like, oh yeah, we know Octopath team is doing something new. And I think likely we'll see something Splatoon related. Because I think those are 2 easy picks.
Well, I guess...
But now it's like, what the...
We're probably just going to get the little, like... Well, okay, remember... Yeah, because Link's Awakening was announced during a February Direct as well. And then it was like, at E3, they were like, alright, September, it's coming out. So, I don't know. We'll see.
And the issue is we know Splatoon is 2022 at the earliest.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3. So it's like, okay, what... I'm trying to think. Something just popped in my head.
Ubisoft
maybe
press
the
conference
Mario
popped in
team is
my
doing
head.
something.
Yeah, they're doing Donkey Kong.
Maybe that, or maybe we're seeing something larger like Bowser's Fury.
Like a standalone version of Bowser, or like...
Maybe. That could be a test run for...
Bowser's Fury 2.
Like just a larger scale version of it.
Yeah, I get you.
That could be like the tech demo type.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. I'm definitely a little worried because as we've gone here, like, there's nothing. Like,
there's
all
nothing.
I'm looking forward to is Halo and Smash. Like, I'm about to watch this Ubisoft press conference and not see what I want, and then it's gonna end. Like, that's... Like, I'm gonna waste my time.
In the 5% chance that a Rayman game pops up. Like,
oh god, the green screen looks terrible in the Ubisoft stream.
It's like...
That's really bad.
There's no way they do 2 Smash characters.
No. Hell no.
And that's like the only other crutch. And apparently there are things that they're gonna show at Treehouse. So... And we've hit all the big... Like, most of the big franchises already in this console.
It's true, so and that's like, the problem with the Switch. They blew their load, man. They blew it.
You can't be like, oh, you know, it's a Paper Mario. It's a... Like, no, that's already done.
Ugh.
It's like,
Fire
to be
Emblem.
fair,
there's a lot of talk about
Breath of the Wild 2 is like the Switch Zelda.
Yeah.
You know?
There is talk about Fire Emblem remake of
one.
some sort, but I don't know.
That could happen.
It'd be cool. I mean,
that could happen.
Like, I'm telling you, Three Houses is probably my favorite Switch game. Like, I know I say this all the time, but...
Here's the thing. Here's what you do to get people happy. You put HD ports of the Ike games.
Dude, I just realized I didn't buy the I didn't buy the NES port.
It's okay, Scott.
No.
It's a $5 NES game that already has a remake.
But I forgot it existed until now. I wanted to play that.
I think that shows how much stock was put into it.
True, and it's digital only, which is why I didn't buy it.
Yep.
So
it's just like, I guess, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think we'll see something Fire Emblem.
It'd be cool.
Related.
It'd be cool. I mean, that like Three Houses was a Nintendo Switch presentation January 2017, so I feel like
it was a big success.
Yeah, and even I don't think Warriors did as well, but
no, it's a Warriors game.
Fucking Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was gangbusters, like crazy.
It's just like, what?
Wait, no, the new Rainbow Six game is a zombie game. Oh, I think that's the time. This is the point where we just say E3 is gonna suck this year, and then the next video will be like, it was amazing. So,
is it going to be though?
I don't know.
I'd recommend before Tuesday, try to blitz through a game. Just try to play through a video game. So in case,
maybe I'll finish Ratchet and Clank. But
you know what? Maybe. We'll see. But like, we need prep for worst possible scenario.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, I have so many games, but hey, I don't think I'll finish Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, but I think that's gonna end it here. I'm literally watching the Ubisoft presentation as aliens. I think these are aliens, not zombies. I don't know. There's some biological thing shooting them.
Get ready for the next episode where we talk about film.
Yeah, we're just,
and not video games.
Dude,
that's all we'll have to talk about.
I think it's aliens. Anyways,
is it Rainbow Six Siege cross Alien versus Predator?
Oh boy, that's the biggest reveal of the show. All right, everyone, enjoy E3. We'll see you around.